Okay, so let's say this out loud, gently, and without shame. Some of us weren't addicted to substances. We were addicted to people. Yes, to intensity, to longing, to being chosen, to the dopamine hit of a text, to the emotional roller coaster that made us feel alive. And if Valentine's Day has ever made your chest feel tight instead of warm, this episode is for you because romantic addiction doesn't look like obsession in the movies. It looks like overgiving, overthinking, over attaching, and calling it love. Your journey to joyful living begins when you stop confusing emotional chaos with connection. So, we are going to dive into this topic, and let me bring up my co host, the fabulous Lindsay Glass.
Hey, how you doing?
Look at you. Hey, guilty, guilty.
Yeah, exactly. Guilty as charged, as usual. I love this topic.
Yes,
This is one of my faves. So, I am a recovering addict, and
right.
I think you have to, like, I can say from personal experience, I feel like I had this when I was younger.
Hmm.
When I started to deal with all of my addiction issues, I really feel like it got better and went away. But I've had experience with this, so I feel very qualified to talk about it today.
I love
So
it.
let's talk about, like, what is romantic addiction? What
All
does it
right,
actually look like? What does it mean?
let's dive
Okay.
into it.
'Cause it's not about love. It's
No,
about trying
definitely.
to regulate yourself over and over and over.
Yes.
So, basically, it kinda looks like this. When another person becomes your mood stabilizer, like, you ever had that? You
Mhm.
don't
Oh,
feel
yeah.
good until you talk to them that day or
Yes,
until you hear from them. It's when somebody else becomes your sense of worth. When
yes.
things aren't going well with them, you're just miserable. This is a big one. This is what I used to experience. It's your nervous system manager.
Ah.
So go ahead. Were you going to say something?
Well, what I was going to say is I used to be like that until not so long ago, until I had cancer and like, that
Right.
kind
Right.
of like canceled all that stuff out. But it kind of changed that nervous system actually now, and we can talk about it in some of the segments when it's appropriate. But what it did is I don't want to be my emotional health. I don't want it to be attached to a romantic liaison or an affair or that romantic feeling every time you start dating someone like a
Yep.
serial dater,
Yep.
because that is very stressful. And
Mhm.
also after my cancer healing journey, I wanted peace, and that
Right.
does not give you peace, right?
No. 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 And what I was gonna say is I remember, getting into a relationship of whatever kind or another, and not being okay
Mm.
unless I was in contact with the person. Like, my heart would race or I'd feel bad, and I appreciate what you were saying about needing the peace in your cancer recovery, because it would kind of, they talk about alcoholism as an obsession of the mind.
Right.
But if you're an addict, you can obsess about anything. So if I wasn't hearing from them, if I wasn't getting what I wanted, I literally couldn't calm down. So it
Wow.
is a mental health issue. It really is. And like any
Definitely.
other addiction, you're
Mhm.
not going to be able to work normally. You're not going to be able to
Mm-mm.
live your normal life because you're obsessed. Um,
Absolutely. And it's like, I remember, doesn't happen anymore, but I know if I start dating, it's going to happen. I haven't dated in like 4 years now. And I'm very happy about that. Very happy. But I know that if I start dating someone, I am going to be constantly, for me, it's the text messages.
yes.
If I don't hear back, I'm like, oh, they abandoned me or they're not feeling it or whatever. I start just going spiraling down. It's just the texting, not anything
We're
else.
going to talk about this off camera. We're going to have a little chat about this, you and
Uh-oh.
me. But
Am I in trouble?
yes. Yes,
Among
you're in big, big trouble.
Oh no,
No.
you guys, I'm in trouble with Lindsay now. Great.
But, listen, I think what you're talking about, that is a fear. It's a real fear, and it holds so many people
Yeah.
in check. And I would add that the current world we're living in, with dating apps and some of the way people
Yeah.
behave, that can also kind of exacerbate one's fears. You meet somebody on a dating app, and sometimes you're not in a relationship for a couple months, and you're thinking, are they still
Mhm.
on it? Like,
Are they dating other people?
you know
That was
what's funny?
another.
I'm now in a relationship because I'm a relationship gal, and that's what
Oh,
I do.
wow.
But, I was thinking, and we've been together a couple of months, and I was just thinking as we were doing this, like, did he delete his dating apps? Like, is he off all his, because we
Oh.
never, like, discussed it, but this is what
Uh-huh.
I'll say, you know, um, I think when you're dating somebody and it's a good match, and so
Yeah.
far so good and healthy, he doesn't make me anxious,
Oh,
you
yes,
know?
really? There's people that don't make you
Yeah,
angry.
he doesn't make me anxious, so I
Wow, who
I think
knew?
that's probably a good sign. But,
Yeah,
you know and there definitely have been days, and, he didn't write me back fast enough or at all and I had to really calm myself and be
yeah.
like, first of all, I don't have kids and he does, and that's a whole different ball.
Oh, that's a whole vibe, I know.
And remember, sometimes somebody's with their kids and doing stuff, and, but it's all about finding your way with people, and because
Yeah,
sometimes they're not going to text you back and at the rate that you want them to, and you still have to find your way.
yeah,
So it's interesting.
it's
Okay.
hard. So
The
give
other
me some scientific backup to all this. Is there, like, some kind of
Yes,
hormonal
absolutely,
thing going
absolutely.
on?
You want my science stuff. Is that what you're asking me for? I'm gonna come with the science.
I know.
So here's the thing. Romance, like drugs, like alcohol, like gambling, like food,
Mhm.
they reward the dopamine center, like the
Ah,
dopamine reward system.
got it.
We've all heard of this. We all know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
So it's the same pathway that's involved in substance addiction.
okay.
So another thing, if you grew up with any kind of intermittent reinforcement, okay.
Okay.
So this is a parent who is hot or cold. Sometimes they're really good to you, then there are
Uh-huh.
periods they're not, or you have to work for their love or their
Yes.
approval. You can get really wired to be looking for this kind of behavior in people that you date,
Yeah,
or you can just become so used to it that you don't realize, like, oh, this person's being really hot and cold with me, and
right.
this isn't normal. This isn't actually normal. So there's something called intermittent reinforcement, and it's very addictive, and your
Mm.
brain just keeps thinking, maybe this time I'll get the reaction I want from that
Oh,
person.
wow.
So a lot of this dating, you're waiting for them to text. Again, you have to be, every situation's different, but you have to be really clear on what you're looking for, because if it's somebody who's busy with their kids but is going to call you as soon as they're free, that's one thing. If
Yeah.
it's somebody who's dropping crumbs this day and then disappears for the weekend, and then, oh, sorry, was taking some downtime.
Yeah,
I had
no,
somebody
no,
do that to me once, and I was like, no.
no.
So cortisol and adrenaline get mistaken for chemistry.
Mhm.
So a lot of us adrenaline junkies, the minute somebody
Yes,
makes us feel like, oh, there's a connection, there's passion, it's like, oy, that's something that should grow.
absolutely.
People getting to know each other, it's not something that should come that way. So if calm loves feels boring, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because your nervous system learned chaos early.
Great. And let me tell you, my channel is Your Journey to Joyful Living. And I can tell you that joy doesn't spike, joy settles. It feels calm, right? It's
Yeah.
not up and down, up and down. That's adrenaline, really, right? And
Yeah.
dopamine.
And let me add something else. And also the love bombing, when people are love
Oh, yeah.
bombing you and you're getting a crazy reaction from you,
Yeah.
that's not good,
No, it's
actually.
terrible. It's
Um,
terrible because
it
when they
really
withdraw, it's almost like I remember with my ex who was a narcissistic abuser, when he was love bombing me. And then when he wouldn't do that, I felt unwanted. Like, what
Yes.
is wrong with me? What did I
Yeah.
do that he's not telling me how amazing I am and how much he loves me, which was all bullshit. But
Yeah.
still, it's just very confusing.
I had a mentor who was a very accomplished mental health professional,
Yeah.
and she would say to me, "You don't want electric love. You want love
Mhm.
that's a slow burn."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you
That's
know, and because I'm not gonna name her, she would even say, "If you're madly in love, I'd be a little wary of that."
a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's why I don't fool with it right now. I'm not. Mm-mm. You know what? Why don't you go ahead and lead the segments?
Okay.
Because you're the expert on this. I'm just
All
going
right.
to add my little 2 cents.
All right. I'm jumping in. Okay. So
Definitely.
let's jump into segment 2 because I really will talk about this all day. So she's got to
Oh,
push
yeah.
me along. When love becomes the drug. So
Hmm.
this is what we're talking about here is when you're actually becoming addicted. So signs that romantic addiction may be running the show. Exactly what you were just talking about. If you're being love bombed, you feel anxious without romantic attention.
Yes.
Okay. We
Yes.
want
Because
people, go ahead.
you link your self worth to what they're saying. And you
Yeah.
don't realize you're doing that until they stop saying it.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh, what
Yeah.
they said maybe wasn't true. And what, it's just, and it's almost, I wouldn't say I fell into depression, but I was craving it like a drug.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was craving it. And if it wasn't him, I was like, I need to dump him or get somebody else to love bomb me because I feel unworthy and I feel like I'm nothing without it, which is so dumb because now I learned to love myself and it's what other people say or think of me and how they love me. It's totally none of my business. That's how I feel about it.
So
It's
you
all
just
about me. You
Yeah,
know?
sorry, I didn't mean to stop you, but
No,
I have
no, go
nothing
ahead. Go
else I'm
ahead.
gonna say, and you hit the nail on the head. When somebody is like, your self-worth changes based on the way
Mhm.
somebody is behaving, that is either every situation's different, but either you have a problem with your self-esteem in general, or you're dating with somebody, you're messing with somebody who is bringing you up and bringing you down. Like, you shouldn't, especially, I'm always gonna come from the angle of people who are in recovery.
Yeah.
We don't wanna get high like that.
Right.
We don't wanna get too
Right.
high, but we don't wanna get too low.
Yeah, right.
Um, and you can just feel so down. All right, next one. Let's hear about chasing unavailable people.
Oh my God. Guilty and an expert. Like
Okay.
I would become friends with a guy and not have feelings. I thought maybe they're cute or whatever, and they would be kind of interested. I don't chase men, but I would just try to get their attention,
Yeah,
because, and the more unavailable and uninterested they were, the more I was interested and the more I was trying. Not anymore, though. I'm done
that's so
with
funny.
that. It's like totally done. But I used to do that a lot. What is that about?
I don't know, and I had another person I used to talk to a lot, and the tap, 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 she would call it, like, tap, tap,
Oh,
tap for attention,
uh-huh.
like,
Yep.
"Let's just get his attention. Let's just get his attention."
It's like
Tap,
an
tap, tap.
addiction. Like,
Yeah,
how many
absolutely.
guys can I attract? It was
Right.
almost like hysterical seduction. Somebody told me about that. There's something called hysterical seduction, which whatever. That was in Argentina back in the day. And I was
That's
like, it
funny.
is kind of like crazy seduct. Like I was trying to seduce men who were not available, desperately trying to seduce
So
them.
that's a thing. That is a thing.
Yes, and also like convince them of my value, which you should not have to convince anybody of your value. First of all, you need to know that you have value and you need to know your value. And if somebody doesn't see your value, why would you want to be with them? That you have to
Right,
sell them like selling a used car?
right,
What the
right.
hell? No, not anymore,
Um,
girl.
but you're just making such important points here, and I'm glad you're sharing all of this because, if anybody's listening and kinda had a pain in their stomach as they heard that, Here's the truth. When you're chasing unavailable people, you are actually looking for rejection.
No. What? Say that again. Well, say that again. That is so what?
So when you are chasing unavailable people, which I have been guilty of, so I know that this is
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
you're on some level, you're seeking rejection. Like, you're going to reinforce that you're not lovable by going after people who simply can't love you.
I cannot. This
Are
is
we having a mind blown? I love it when I can like actually say something that's valuable.
no,
But
that was, and it makes complete sense because if you're at a point in your life where you don't appreciate yourself, you don't understand your value, your worth, and you don't love yourself,
yeah.
then you want to validate all those feelings,
Yep.
right?
And
What you,
anybody with daddy issues,
oh, hello.
has done this, has
Oh,
tried
yeah.
this.
Yeah. Unavailable, emotionally unavailable dad and domineering mom. So that
Yeah.
was a formula
So,
for disaster for sure for romantic relationships.
yep. So here's another really big one. You
Yes.
mistake longing for love.
Yes.
So
Oh my
let's
God.
define this. Can you define this for us?
Okay.
Just meaning like longing is when you're like pining for somebody,
Okay.
right?
So let me tell you
Okay.
the practical things. I used to fall for men that were like thousands of miles away, right?
Yeah.
Um, because the longing, like, oh, and also not having to see them every day.
Love that too.
I don't know why. And it was a pattern that I didn't realize. It was like, oh, he lives in like Arizona. And I'm in that like, great. Okay. Maybe once a month I can see him or whatever. I miss him. Or, it's just like I would think about them. And that's not love. That's
No.
a disease. What kind
Yeah.
of disease is that?
Well, I used to call it the pining disease,
Uh-huh.
pining for people who
Yeah.
didn't, I definitely had my years and, more often before sobriety and then in
Right.
early sobriety. But I definitely got into a few of those situations and I would just I pine for somebody who was not as interested in me as I was in them. And it was just, and the irony is, I'm sure there were people who were that interested in you, and
Yeah.
same for me, yet
Yeah.
that wasn't interesting to me. What was
No.
interesting to me was forcing myself on somebody who was like, and
Yeah.
I
Kind
wasn't
of like,
sure I could
yeah.
convince
Yeah.
them
Yeah. Like,
how
yeah.
fabulous I was.
They're kind of like, I would do you, but I'm not that into
And I'm like,
you.
you will be my boyfriend 20 years ago.
Totally. Yes. Not anymore, though. Not anymore.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no, 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 no.
interested in
And
that
we're gonna
at
talk about
all.
what it's like now at the end, just so but, we want everyone to know, like, we've all been there, we've all been through this, this is part of the road to success in romance and
Yeah,
personal relationships, so
totally.
none of this is to make anybody feel bad. Okay, so another, sign that romantic addiction may start running the show is you can't really you feel empty when you're single. Um,
Relationship hopping, absolutely. Yeah. So
yeah,
you don't feel it's almost like and I think as women we've been programmed, it's going away now, thank God, but we've been programmed that your value is tied to the man you're with.
yeah,
And so that's why when you're single, it's almost like, ooh, what's my value now?
yeah.
I need to have someone who's great to be able to, society for society to see me as valuable.
And society does it in so many ways.
Yes,
You don't get invited to dinner parties when you're not in a couple because you're
right.
the odd man out. Often, if you have a lot of married friends, they don't want their single girlfriend around. And there can be a lot of situations going to events. I remember at times in my life just having to do event after event and being like, if I go to another event alone, I'm gonna,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Um,
I love going places alone. You know what I did before, like after my cancer treatment? I'm vegan now, right? And so there's this vegan restaurant that I love called Cafe Gratitude.
Oh, the best.
The best. Even when I wasn't vegan, I used to go
Yeah,
there. It's such the food there is
so good.
amazing. And so I used to go there every Monday because it was cheaper. Like at 4, you have like happy hour and you can eat whatever, and it's way cheaper. I would take myself there and I would not be ashamed or embarrassed that I was by myself, treating
Yeah,
myself to dinner, you know, but
yeah.
it took me a long time to get there.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had to do that on advice from a sponsor.
Oh, really?
I think it was after I got divorced, and
Hmm.
she was like, "You need to date yourself." You know, take
Yes.
yourself where you wanna go eat, buy yourself what you would want, like, you
Yep.
know, like, live life,
Yeah.
exactly the way you would want.
Totally.
Okay, the final sign, and then you're gonna read the fan story because 'cause they're your
Okay.
fans. Um, not on
Okay.
here enough, no offense to me.
You're so
Okay.
silly.
You abandon your needs to keep connection.
Yes. Well, yeah, kind of. I don't know. Did you ever do that?
Huge one for me. Oh my god.
Really?
I
I
would
never
become
did that.
completely invested in their lives,
Right.
but their interests, their that has been a big one for me to stay really independent in relationships.
Okay.
Um, and as an adult, I practice that by even now being in a new relationship. I mean, within the
Mhm.
first year or whatever,
Yeah.
um, I try not to like do too it's weird. Like I want to spend time together, but I also don't want to be living in his house. I don't want I have to have some independence or it becomes all about taking care of him. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
need to come home and even on nights where sometimes we spend time together, I'm like, I gotta go home because I have a
Yeah.
dog at home and I have a show in the morning. And if I'm here, I'm not thinking about the show. I'm not
Yeah.
preparing for my life. So yes, and in the old days, completely, I wouldn't do anything. None of my self-care, none of my, abandoned interests and hobbies because they didn't
Yeah.
fit into somebody else's lifestyle.
Wow. Yeah. No, see, I never got that far with it. Like with the romantic connection. That's where I drew the line. Nah.
That's funny. That's funny. Listen, we're all what's wonderful about like what we do and all of our different personalities is you have a
Yeah.
strong personality. You
Oh, thank
really
you.
do. You're like a
Thank you.
strong, powerful woman, and
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate
I
that.
don't think I am because I cry a lot, and which actually is a form of release. Crying, the tears are amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know I hear that a lot, but it's like intimidating. I heard powerful men tell me that they were intimidated by me and my intelligence, which to me was like, what?
I'll tell you why. Both my mom and I were raised in pretty old-fashioned, environments, and to this day, I still have trouble standing up to men. To this
Really?
day. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, for
girl,
sure.
I have no problem
I know.
at all. If you need to stand up to a man, call me.
I know. I
Oh,
know, but
yeah.
I think so many of I mean, not today, I think girls are different today.
Yeah.
But I think if you're over a certain age, you still grew up in an environment where it was like, "Keep your mouth shut. Don't cry.
Well,
Keep your feelings to yourself. We're not
n
interested."
not if you were raised by my mom. My mom
Yeah.
never kept her mouth shut, and she always told me never depend on a man and to always, express myself, which, my dad was kinda, like, emotionally unavailable and kinda like, you can do whatever you want as long as you don't bug me and you let me do my thing, which is
Yeah.
actually great because that's what I grew up with, right? A man like that, and maybe that's why you perceive me as strong and powerful because it's my mom's fault. That's what I'm trying to say.
How about, we thank her for that. I think it's a good
Yes.
thing.
No, yeah, there's a lot of good things, nothing is all bad or all good, right? In life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, segment 3, should we move on, or did you wanna tell that fan story quickly?
Okay. All right. Well, this fan wrote to me and said, I wasn't addicted to him. I was addicted to who I became when he almost chose me. Ah,
That's an interesting thing, and I think sometimes, like, we're sad about a fantasy. Like, we kind of,
right.
it was a fantasy, and
Well, you know what? This is what I have to say when we tie it to joy. Joy doesn't live in almost. Joy lives in arrival,
yeah, yeah,
right?
it
Half
does.
basically half-ass stuff is not a joy,
It's true.
commitment to something is joy. Oh, did you just do this?
Not on purpose. I think I did it just by accident, and it
Where did you get that from? I
I
don't
have no
even know
idea.
where.
I have no idea.
That's so funny. Oh, we have a comment.
Oh,
Here's Donna says, sooner or later you get used to being on your own and make peace with it. You become the hostess, and if you're kind, you include everyone. So true. So true. You center it on
let's see.
you.
Yeah, that's really nice. I really appreciate that. One of the
Yeah.
things, you know, uh, I won't speak to any specifics, but down here in Florida, a lot of times we invite people over. I have
Yes.
family down here, and we invite neighbors over, and we try to really create community, not just for ourselves that
Yeah.
don't entirely revolve around romantic relationships, but our
Right.
friends and our neighbors.
Yes.
All right, segment 3.
All right, let me put it up there. Segment 3, childhood attachment and why this makes sense. Okay, let's roll, girl.
Okay, so I was talking a little bit earlier about intermittent reinforcement, and this is something that's often learned in childhood. So let's just be very clear that this attachment stuff, it didn't start with dating apps. It didn't start with the
Mhm.
behavior of men that are going on right now. And this is
Yeah.
where it's painful, but we have to look at ourselves and our parents and our family history. My
Yes.
favorite. So all of this starts when love was inconsistent.
Right.
You were a little kid, even when you were a
Right.
baby, when attention was conditional, okay? If you're a good girl, if you do this for me, if you do that for me, if safety depended on performance.
Mhm.
So if your grades were good, if you didn't cause a scene,
Yeah.
but if they weren't, anything could happen. So your nervous system learned must earn love. So
Ooh,
this
you
is
gotta work for it.
yes. So for our
Mm.
people pleasers,
Yeah.
our approval seekers, myself included, what happens is as we become adults, young adults and adults, romance becomes the stage where old wounds used to perform. Does that make sense?
100%. And
Okay.
you discover stuff about yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're not broken. You're just
yeah.
totally human.
Yeah.
Oh, so let's talk about a few of these things.
Okay, go ahead, girl. You're leading because you're the expert on
All
this.
right.
I'm just like the
So
silly girl here.
what does love being inconsistent look like? Because I kind of just ran through these and I feel like we should unpack them a little bit more.
Okay, tell me.
So when love is inconsistent, it's when you have a parent or a caregiver who isn't reliable. Like, isn't
Mm,
reliable, and it can be around anything.
okay.
Reliable around food, reliable around any kind of nurturing or caregiving kind of things. So, and it could straight up parents who won't say I love you unless you get good grades or won't give you affection.
That's right.
So again, this really plays into if attention or safety were really dependent on your performance or
Mhm.
on conditions, it really like opens the door to go into adult relationships and think that that's what you have to do. That it's okay if somebody's inconsistent with you. That it's okay if people say mean things to you. What were
Or
you going to say?
they breadcrumb you, you know?
Yeah.
I fall for that sometimes, and I excuse the person, like, well, maybe they're busy, maybe this, maybe no.
Tell people what that is. I didn't know what that was until my friend explained it to me like 2
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. It's they just like text you here and there just to keep you entertained, but they're
Yeah.
not really interested.
Yeah.
But I used to fall for that for some reason. It's so weird. I guess because my dad was so emotionally unavailable
Right.
that, that's probably for me, it was a form of love. And wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is a reframe? How can we reframe all this?
Okay, so what we're talking about a lot with this stuff is unmet needs from our childhood. So
Yeah.
romantic addiction is often just unmet attachment needs, not a weakness.
Ah,
So we really don't want to talk about ourselves as being broken or weak or any of the things. What we really
right.
want to do, and this is what I preach in all of my books, you need to learn about yourself. You need to learn about your attachment
That's right.
style, and basically figure out where you are on the spectrum
Yeah.
so that you can kind of do the work on yourself that you need to do. And so the first start is to reframe it. This is not my fault. This is because of my history, and
Oh.
really try to do some identification work around it.
So basically, tying it to joy, joy grows when compassion for yourself
Yes.
replaces self blame, right?
Yes. Correct.
Amazing. All right. If guys, if this episode is hitting, pause for a second, breathe. You're not behind, baby. You're awakening. This episode is part of your journey to joyful living, where healing isn't about fixing yourself; it's about coming home to yourself. Let's go to a little video that we have 3 little videos we're going to show. I'm going to start with the first one, and then we'll be back. Grab a glass, sit your mistakes down, honey, and let's see if they're your soulmate or your symptom. So remember that the woman must be complimented. Like actually, she loves the compliments that I give her. And you must say things like, you have lit me up like a bolt of lightning from the sky that starlights the house. Ready for some tips that are as bold as my lipstick and as sharp as my wit? Psychic Priscilla, they call me the seer that doesn't see. But I see, I see. I don't see that much.
Hey there, golf lovers. It's your favorite unicorn with a horn for golf and a mind for mischief.
So he's saying to rub around them. Okay, is this correct, Jose? Is it okay?
Yes, perfect. You're the best, Grace. Oh yeah, keep going, keep going.
All right.
What was going on with that golf one? That was funny.
Okay, so Golfing with Jose is available on my Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/the state of Grace Fraga. It's a whole series. I think it's 7 or 8 episodes.
Oh my
And
God.
it's this unicorn, right? This puppet in my hand that is trying to seduce me with sexual innuendos when when he's teaching me golf, and he doesn't know anything about golf, so he's teaching me and I don't know anything, and I play it with a blonde wig and stuff because I'm kind of like the dumb blonde. But anyway, that's a series I created from a puppet.
Funny. I
Golfing
like
with
it.
Jose.
I like it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. Moving right along into
Okay.
segment 4. Are you
Okay, let
ready?
me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Here it is. Segment 4 is intensity versus intimacy. Ooh, this is juicy.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, it's very important not to confuse intimacy with other things,
Ay,
okay?
ay, ay. Okay,
It's
I'm
very
scared.
important. So many people confuse intimacy with things that are not real intimacy. So, intensity is what most people often confuse it with. And with intensity, it's fast, okay?
Yes.
You meet him, and within 3 weeks, you're like the most perfect person he's ever met, and
Yeah.
you're the girl of his dreams, and you're getting married, right?
It's like fast food.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
You
need
ever
it.
had one of those? I've had
Yeah.
a few of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You. A bunch.
It's electrifying.
Yeah.
And there's, it's funny, there's one person I think of in particular in my history who I just had this sort of crazy, crazy connection with. And I think he was insane. So he was incredibly successful and very good at what he did. There's no question. But there were some things about him, whether he was a user or had other addictions and was hiding them from me. I don't know what it was that was going on with him.
Yeah.
But, he is the perfect example I can point to this because it makes no sense. You
Mhm.
don't really know who they are.
Right.
Like, I remember people asking me, like, questions about him. I'd be like, I don't really know.
No
Like,
idea. What do they do for a living?
so,
Yeah.
it's moving too fast.
Yeah.
Things feel very electrified. And somebody once told me when you have chemistry like that, it's like a disaster waiting to happen.
Totally. Yes.
And it's dysregulating. And again, this is what we were talking about before when it's like you can't get back to your day of work. You're completely obsessed. Something goes on now, you're thinking about it. These are doing things to your nervous system that are not making you feel safe and calm. These are relationship tactics that are built to draw you in, to confuse you, and they feel really intense. But they are not intimacy. So let's talk about intimacy.
Okay,
Intimacy
before
is
before we talk, can we post a little bit
yeah,
some of the comments just to say hi to our
yeah,
fans?
please.
Penny, hi Penny. Penny is from England
Hi,
and
Ken.
she's in high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I think they love the topic of love, and I love that, Penny. I'm so happy you made it to this live, sweetheart. I hope that this helps you. And here's Mila, also they're friends, and I just wanted to say hi to them. Thank you for being here. Okay, thank you so much. And I don't know, they asked some Gen Z questions that I have no idea what they. I don't know. It's like what the flipper dapper deeper. Okay, that must be like a British thing, and I have no idea what it is. But whatever it is, thank you for just commenting. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay, so back to intimacy. Intimacy is slow.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. You might be dating somebody and be like, why hasn't he told me he liked me? Why hasn't he told me he loved me? Why? Guess what?
Mhm.
When you're an adult and you're a healthy person, it takes time to develop those feelings.
Yes.
And those kinds of feelings are based on real things
Yeah.
like, oh, I can actually trust this person. Oh, when I start crying in the middle of dinner, this person doesn't yell at me. I
You
did.
cry in the middle of dinner?
My dad's sick. I cried at dinner the other night.
Oh no.
But you know what? It was funny. I arrived, like, I got back into town. I saw my man friend. Yeah, I walked in the
My
door.
man friend?
He's not a boy. This guy's not a boy. Do I have to
I know,
call
I
him my
love my
boyfriend?
man friend.
All right. So, and like, he's like, how are you? I'm like, but it's like, and
Yeah.
sobbing and being embarrassed and walking, because I'm embarrassed to show my emotions around people sometimes.
Right.
So getting through moments like that for me leads to more trust than like a sexy date. Those are the
Right.
moments I need to get through with somebody. So slow it down.
Yes. That's
Two,
intimacy. Intimacy is knowing somebody for real and having that connection that's not intense, but it's intense in a calm way,
yeah,
not in a electrifying way.
absolutely. And I'm jumping to the third one, and I'll go back to the second. But sometimes it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Let me talk about recovery from anything. It is uncomfortable. You
Of
have to sit
course.
in your feelings. You have to deal with people saying things to you that you don't want to hear. You
Yeah.
have to be able to listen and all of the things. So, exactly what I'm talking about, crying in front of this person and then knowing that it was okay and having them be supportive. Like, guess what? building real intimacy with somebody is embarrassing. Like, you got to travel together. You got to get through those moments where, things happen and you don't judge each other and
Yeah.
that's what it's about, getting through that.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
that leads to
Yeah.
is making someone feel safe.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm too tired for all that.
Me too.
I'm
Me too.
exhausted. I am so tired. I can't
Me
even
too.
tell you.
And you know what the good news is? And we're going to talk about it at the end, but for anybody who's listening, if you actually work on yourself and you start to think about some of this stuff, you will know who's doing
Mhm.
what.
Yes.
Because there was somebody I met last year who was doing this stuff to me, and I knew immediately.
Oh.
And I was just like playing games, and it wasn't, I
Mm.
don't have the time and the energy for it
Oh,
anymore.
hell no.
So,
No,
you
it's
know?
exhausting. Oh, no. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Passing on that. All right.
So romantic addiction chooses intensity because calm feels unfamiliar.
Oh,
So
good
calm can
one.
feel really boring.
Yeah. Yeah. Calm and safe sometimes can feel like what?
Yeah.
Especially if you grew up in a crazy environment. Yeah.
Stability feels weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
and peace can almost feel like abandonment.
Right. Like they don't care because they're not fighting you. They're not. Yeah. I always see like if they're fighting me, it's romantic. I used to
Right.
see that, which
Right.
is dumb, but
Right.
that's how I grew up. Like that's how my mom loved me, with fighting and insanity. So,
And I think
um,
a lot of people are that way. And there
yeah,
comes a moment when you're an adult and you get to decide what
yeah,
is right for me. What kind of love
right.
do I want to receive?
Totally.
And
A
that's where
hundred
you get to make a choice. So,
percent.
what's the truth bomb, Grace?
Peace feels boring to a nervous system trained on survival. And the joy tie-in is joy feels quiet at first and just let it feel quiet. All right. Segment number 5. And that is, I know, we're almost there. We're almost there. I know we prepare these long podcasts and then we're like, we're gonna run out of things to talk about. We never do.
We never do.
Never, never. Okay, so dating as a regulation tool. Ooh, that hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, if you are using dating
yeah.
to soothe anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
escape loneliness,
Mm.
or prove your worth, then dating becomes the substance.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So, again, we've touched on some of this, but if you're using these dating apps, and again, guilty is charged. I'm not like pointing fingers, like we know it because we've been there and we're, commenting on it. If
100%.
you can't sit home at night without checking those dating apps obsessively, okay? And you're talking to people, and again, I've been guilty of this,
Of
like just
course.
getting on the phone with somebody just to pass the evening because they wanted to talk or something like that,
Yeah.
or to escape loneliness. I'm pretty far from dating to prove my worth. I did all that work in my
Yeah, exactly. Same. It's like you know what you're worth, you know your value. Moving on. You just want a healthy, peaceful relationship. If you want a relationship,
yeah,
not everybody wants a relationship. Right now,
yeah,
I don't want a relationship at all.
right.
I am happy the way I am, and I feel like a relationship will just make me anxious.
It might, and I think
Yeah,
it might not. I think a relationship with the right person is a wonderful
yeah.
addition to somebody's life,
Yeah,
but
but honey, I don't have time to be looking for the right person right now. I'm busy.
all right, well, just, like, pray to the unicorns, and maybe they'll drop one on your lap.
I'm done
I'm
praying.
just kidding, I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay, so here's a practical shift, okay,
Yes.
for people who are, compulsive daters or compulsive dating app users. Before you pick up that phone, before you make that text or phone call, really ask yourselves the following questions. Am I seeking connection? Or am I seeking something else, like
Yeah.
regulation? Like, am
Mhm.
I just trying to make myself feel better? or am I actually looking for a connection with another adult to enhance my life?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Because, by the way, a serious connection with another person to enhance your life takes work.
Yes.
So for people who are sitting around going, "Oh, I'm just gonna like date and it's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna find the one, it's gonna be perfect." It doesn't work that way.
No.
Even when you meet somebody fabulous, like they have kids or they travel or your schedules don't always like it's not what you think it's gonna be always, and you have to work.
100%. Yes.
Okay. So am I grounded or am I activated?
Can you expand a little bit on that?
Yes. So again, obviously we can talk about the meaning of grounded. You know, your feet are on the ground, your head is not in the clouds, you're coming from a place of authenticity, you're coming from a place of like, you know, and again, I bring in my own story, but just to say, like, I did work with somebody and was coached on this stuff. And what this really means is, you know, I'm not seeking regulation. I'm grounded right now, and I'm choosing to be looking for a partner. I'm
Mhm.
not dating just to entertain myself. This is
Right.
very mindful. I'm being very critical of the choices I'm making. I'm
Good.
choosing safety over entertainment. And I'm also being open-minded to
Mhm.
people that I might not necessarily think were the perfect fit.
Ah,
Because
very interesting.
often people that we think, you know, we have a vision of what we want or who we think we
Yeah.
should be with, it's often wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and often the people who come into our life that we make very meaningful relationships with do challenge us in some ways or aren't
Mhm.
like us or come from different kinds of families. And it's in doing that work to understand each other and support each other and respect each other that
Mhm.
intimacy grows, that real relationships grow. So activated means I'm feeling kind of jumpy, I'm feeling kind of punchy, I need something to
Right.
entertain myself. Ooh, where are the apps? What am I doing tonight? You know, am I drinking?
Right.
Am I smoking? Am I dating? That is activated.
Yeah, I hear
So,
you.
okay.
And
Um,
the one that I'm gonna read this one.
yeah.
Am I choosing or chasing?
Yes.
Wow. Choosing or chasing? Am I chasing because of the thrill or because the unmet needs, like we talked earlier? Or am I choosing this person like you're saying right now?
Right.
You're mindfully choosing this person, regardless of is he my type or, you know, somebody you might not have considered during your crazy days, right?
Yeah.
And let's remember that joy chooses, it doesn't beg.
Yeah. And can I add something to that?
Go for it. And
And then
then,
we'll move right on.
well, then we're going to go to a little video.
All right, let's do the video. I'll talk about it in the last segment because there's something important I want to say, but I'll talk about it in the recovery piece.
Okay, before we go to the video, this episode is sponsored by your nervous system learning peace for the first time. Be patient with her. All right, let's actually show the video about Reach Out Recovery, which is the name of your organization
I
that
forgot to put it in my title, but yes, I have a company called Reach Out Recovery.
yes. And here we go.
Not getting along with your mom or your daughter, it's a unique kind of heartbreak. The strain can seep into every corner of your life. Your peace, your confidence, your other relationships can all suffer. The silence on holidays or days like Mother's Day, it's deafening. But healing is possible. I know because I've done it. And if reconciling isn't an option, healing, relief, and understanding are still possible for you. My book, The Mother-Daughter Relationship Makeover, offers 4 transformative steps to guide your journey. With revealing your backstory, you can uncover the roots of your relationship dynamics. With exploring your emotional and behavioral landscape, you can understand the patterns that shape your interactions. With discovering your triggers and repairing the damage of trauma, you can identify pain points and learn strategies for healing. And in step 4, you can either commit to the relationship you want or the new life you want by defining and pursuing the connection you aspire to have. See, here's the thing. No matter what your story, you deserve happiness and healing. And this book and 4-step process will help you get there.
Perfect. All right. So let's go to segment number 6, which actually this is the recovery segment. Recovery from romantic addiction. Please enlighten us, Miss Lindsay.
Yeah, you're going to have to shut me up when you want me to move on, because this is...
You know, I have no problem doing that.
Okay, because I'm
I'd be
just
like,
going to get into it.
Yes.
All right. So recovery is my jam. For anybody who doesn't know, I want to make it really clear. Like, Reach Out Recovery, we're a recovery company. Everybody is recovering from something.
Yes.
And it's really important to take care of yourself. So recovery is not, Grace, avoiding love,
Ooh.
becoming cold.
Are you talking to me?
No. Shutting down.
Because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm avoiding love. I don't
You're in a
become cold
process.
though, but
You're in a process.
I'm in a process. Yeah.
Recovery is learning to self-soothe, building emotional tolerance, and creating safety inside.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to unpack this a little bit, but then I really want to talk about the tools more than this. So I'm going to
Okay.
give this like a couple minutes. I'm going to move right on.
Okay.
Okay. So we have something in the program called becoming avoidant. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And avoidant, it's also an attachment style. So there's
Oh.
anxious, which means you get really anxious in relationships.
Yeah.
But there's also avoidant, which is when people really like you, you tend to avoid the relationship because
Oh.
intimacy is scary for you, or
Okay.
for whatever the reasons are. So ultimately, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm just speaking in general.
Well, it's all about me. You know, I think always it's all about me.
I do. Well, we all do.
Of course, right?
Of course. I think fundamentally avoiding love long term is
Mhm.
not the answer to keep
Of
ourselves
course.
safe.
Absolutely.
I think, and many mental health professionals, I am a certified coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I think many would agree that taking a break, taking time, spending time on your own, figuring out who you are is critical to then finding healthy love.
Yep.
So I have been put on timeouts by professionals I was seeing
Oh, wow.
many times. Like, you are not allowed to date for 6 months. I remember when I
Wow.
moved to LA the second time, because when I moved to LA the first time, I was engaged in 6 months. And when I moved the second
Wow.
time, the person I was working with then, the therapist, was like, yeah, you can't date for 6 months when you get to LA.
Was it easy or hard for you not to date for 6 months?
Hard.
Yeah.
But I was busy making friends and exploring
Okay.
a new city, but absolutely it was hard.
Yeah.
You know, it was, but again, a lot of my life has been learning how to be uncomfortable
Mhm.
so that I could benefit down the road. So I've learned
Right.
how to sit on my hands to stay sober. I've learned how to sit on my hands, and that's how we get comfortable being on our own. So it was really valuable. All right, we don't want to become cold or shut down
No.
ever,
No.
because our warmth is what makes us human. Our compassion and love is what makes us likable to other people.
Exactly.
And shutting down is, the only disservice you're doing is really to yourself. So that is definitely not what you want to do. What you want to do is learn to self-soothe, which is exactly what I was just talking about.
Mhm.
What do you do when you're sitting on your hands? What are you going to do? And we're going to talk about the tools next, but we're going to talk about how you learn to self-soothe, how you learn to build emotional tolerance. This
Okay.
is the biggest thing there is, okay? Because I'm recovering from this, I can tell you the
Okay.
hardest thing to do is learn to sit in that emotional discomfort
Mhm.
while you're waiting for things to get better, or while you're
Ah.
waiting to change your behavior. So I remember I was coached while dating, and she was trying to help me get over some things. And sometimes she'd be like, don't respond. And I'd be
What?
like,
Really?
don't respond to that. And there were just ways she kind of taught me, and my own discomfort with not giving somebody a response immediately was part of my healing. Like, I don't have to respond when somebody, gets in touch with me that second, and other people don't have to respond to me in that second.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about practical tools. The first
Okay.
one, dating pause.
Mm-hmm.
Even, taking a year of celibacy.
Yeah.
Whatever like makes you feel really comfortable. These are not punishments,
Mm-mm.
right? How do you
Not at
consider
all.
what you're doing right now? Self-care.
Absolutely. Listen, after what I went through with cancer healing journey, like I became a different person, and I'm still me, but I'm saying like a lot of things where I prioritized different things that I did before my cancer journey. I faced my own mortality, and so my priorities have changed. Peace and joy, and just being feeling safe and free to me are number one. And I don't know yet how to incorporate a romantic relationship into the mix, because I'm still settling into the new timeline that I entered after cancer.
Yeah. And very, it's admirable. And I told my brother I was not doing something.
And what?
Um, So the next one I'm going to add, I'm adding something in, and that is if you really think you might have an addiction, if
Hmm.
you cannot stop meeting people off the internet, if you cannot stop meeting people for physical things, even when you don't want to or you feel bad afterwards,
Hmm.
you may have an addiction,
Yeah.
and there's absolutely no shame in it. But I do recommend, if you are having serious mental health issues around this or serious behavioral issues around this, and again,
Hmm.
what does that look like? Meeting people off the internet you don't know very well and having physical relationships with them,
Correct.
any kind of behavior that kind of goes against what you think you would want for yourself, but you're doing it over and over and over. This is
Hmm.
the time that you should go buy some books, go read some articles, maybe check out, there are love addicts, there's sex and love addicts. I went for a minute, and in going, I realized, okay, this is not something I have, but it taught me some very, very valuable tools about
Yeah.
sober dating. And
Mm.
they will teach you how to date without having without it turning physical too quickly. So
Right.
there are a lot of skills that you can learn in those programs, or from a coach, or even from a book. So do your homework. If you're sort of more in the middle of the curve with the rest of us, or some of us, you want to start looking at body-based regulations,
Uh-huh.
exercise, walking,
Yeah.
breath work, grounding work, anything that will help sustain your mental health and wellness. I'm a big fan of exercise and yoga
Mhm.
practices, but whatever your body's up for,
Yeah, even just moving,
Yeah.
cleaning the house.
Walking the dog.
Exactly.
Um, Now, the next thing I want to talk about, boundaries, is self-love. So boundaries really can be anything, but there's
Mhm.
something I'm going to add that you may not have thought I was going to add, but I'm going to add it anyway.
Go for it.
So when you start trying to date again and you want to do it in a really healthy, authentic, mindful way, one
Mhm.
of the things that's been really interesting for me, is, so I believe in monogamy.
Yeah.
Even the minute you begin a physical relationship, I believe in monogamy, because I think it's
Yes.
really hard to build a relationship with somebody
Yeah.
when they're talking to other people, when you're talking to other people, when they may be having a physical relationship with other people.
It's more hygienic too.
Well, that on top of everything else, yeah,
Yeah.
that too. So I used to be really afraid to tell people I was dating really early on, "Hey, I don't want you seeing other people if we're
Ah.
dating."
Yeah.
As an adult, in my current situation, I have no problem.
Yeah.
It's something that comes out of my mouth on an early date. It's like, "Look, if you wanna continue on, if you wanna start a physical relationship," like, and again, I never asked him if he was off the apps, but he said yes, I said yes, and that was
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So I knew from like week whatever it was that this guy wasn't seeing other people. And by the way, one of the ones from last year, I believed he was seeing other people after telling me he wasn't, which was one of the tells that it was somebody who was not looking for what I was looking for.
Absolutely.
So you have the right in dating to set your boundaries and
Yes.
say, you know what? I'm just getting back into dating. I only want to see you once a week.
Right.
You know, and that gets us into the next thing, which is slow attachment.
That's very important.
They don't need to be your boyfriend after 3 weeks. You don't know
No.
them well enough, or girlfriend, or whatever kind of relation. I'm old fashioned. These words come into my head, but whatever kind of relationship
Okay.
you're having,
Yes.
polyamorous, whatever.
It's complicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you want it to go slow. You
Yeah.
want to get to know each other. And even though there may be this incredible anxiety of like, oh, I got to see them. What are they doing? Da, 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 da. The reality is fast on, fast off.
That's true.
So, and then really choosing community over chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to abandon my life, my world, my gym, my friends over hooking up with somebody who makes me feel excited. That's
Exactly.
not, you know, a long-term thing. But, you know, it's very, very important to figure out what's going on with you. Take some time to decide what you really want. Because when I got really clear on who I wanted and what I wanted, I started to find them.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of work around that. Like, what kind of relationship works for me? What kind of person do I want to be with? Is it a generous person? Is it a person who has a lot of time? Is it a person who has kids? Like, these are all important things to answer. So on to you.
All right. Well, let's read the fan story. Here, our fan is saying the first healthy relationship felt boring. 6 months later, I realized it felt safe, and that was new. Joy feels steady, not sparkly, right?
Yes.
So does peace. Yes, 100%. All right, let's go to segment number 7. And this is so relevant because this is about Valentine's Day and recovery. So,
Okay.
yeah, because now in a week it's going to be Valentine's Day.
How do you feel about Valentine's Day?
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care about it because I didn't grow up with Valentine's Day.
Right.
In Argentina, there's no such thing. So to me, it's like, whatever.
I honestly think with a lot of these things, we'd all be okay if society wasn't so annoying. Like if we didn't have to go into the drugstore just to go get some migraine medicine and see the Valentine's Day stuff everywhere.
Yeah. It doesn't
marketing.
affect me at all. I really don't care. I'm so into my life that I really could care less, but I really never cared about Valentine's Day. I mean,
Okay.
it's just like, what? It's dumb. I think it's dumb.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
fair
just
enough.
my perception. It's like, why do you have it's basically a commercial holiday, like
Absolutely.
Christmas and it's in Thanksgiving. They're all commercial holidays.
It's a money-making holiday.
Absolutely. That's all it is. Capitalism at its best.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, that's all it is. So it means
But
nothing.
Grace,
Yes.
for many young American ladies,
Yes.
Valentine's Day is a punishment when things aren't going well.
That is so terrible.
So Valentine's Day can trigger comparison,
Mm-hmm.
grief, cravings, and old patterns. So the comparison is looking at people online and thinking about all your friends and their marriages or relationships and feeling
Mm-hmm.
bad. The grief is over lost relationships or relationships you wish you had.
Yes.
Cravings can be anything, whether you're feeling bad and you want to eat, you want to call an ex, you want to use, and you're a sober person. But trust me, whether it's Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas, for recovering addicts, when you don't have what you want in your life, these holidays are absolutely excruciating.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then old patterns, nothing like Valentine's Day to make you want to text an ex. I mean, not
Yeah.
me. I wouldn't do that actually, but some people would,
Yeah. No,
So,
thanks.
the reframe, this is not a test of your worth. actually let this be a mirror and let you
Mm.
see who you really are and what's really going on. So we have some ritual ideas because we love rituals.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a favorite ritual, by the way?
Um, for Valentine's Day,
Just in life.
in life. Yeah, tea. I love tea.
Okay.
So whenever I just need to just ponder about something, tea.
I have a morning routine, beauty routine, because I'm so obsessed with my skin now that I live in Florida.
You're
I
not.
have a red
Why?
light mask. We'll talk about it off screen.
Okay.
I have a red light mask I use.
Oh no, you don't. One of
Oh,
those.
yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh,
And then I have magnetic electrodes that I shoot into my face here for 10 minutes that help with
no,
my wrinkles. Yes, no,
no.
this is all correct. Then my mom has a shake machine. When I'm at her house, I sit on it. This is how you do exercise in Florida. You sit on a machine. I'm not even kidding. It's a microcurrent. All we
That
do
is,
is shoot electrocurrents into ourselves down here in
oh
Florida in
my
any way we
God.
can. So I actually really enjoy it because it's mindless. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You're
yeah.
like doing things, but it's mindless. Okay. So these are Valentine's Day rituals. Write a letter to the part of you that chased love.
Yeah.
Grace
Stop
is
doing
like,
that, lady, kind of thing. Yeah.
so, think about your inner child, think about your younger self, think
Yeah.
about, and really have a lot of compassion for her. And
Yeah.
can my mom wait to do the dishes until we're done? I'm in my
No,
mom's
tell
house right
her
now.
not to do the dishes
But look at my
now.
beautiful background. I'm at my mom's house. So yeah, write a letter to the person who is looking for love
Yeah.
and be really kind to her and say, I understand what you are looking for and you're going to get it when the time is right and everything
Yeah.
else. Then you want to thank her. You want to thank yourself. And however you want to do this, I love a little tea. I love a little candles. I love a little
Yes.
bath because you know what? Sometimes self-care is for doing your taxes and sometimes it really is for bubble baths and
Totally.
romantic comedies.
Yes.
And Valentine's Day is bubble baths and romantic comedies.
100%.
You don't have to do your taxes on Valentine's Day.
Yes. And also on Valentine's Day, remember that joy is choosing yourself, even when the world is celebrating Valentine's Day, selling roses, and going to dinner. Sounds really good, actually, but that's okay.
There you go.
Still choose yourself. All right. So we're going to go and show a little video. And if this episode feels like a soft landing, share it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And subscribe to Reach Out Recovery and to the State of Grace Fraga. And we're going to show the last video of the night. And then we're going to move on to the last segment. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, here it is. All right, and we're back. But Lindsay, are you washing the dishes with your mom? Lindsay is gone. All right. So we're going to move on to segment 8, and that is love without escape. All right.
Sorry.
No worries. The little video was way shorter than the other one. So.
Yeah, I thought I had a minute. My phone died.
No,
I was
you
looking for my
didn't.
charger.
All right. So let's just do the last segment.
Okay. So healthy love, it doesn't rush, it doesn't threaten you, and it doesn't come and go. It certainly doesn't disappear. So here's the truth that no one says. If you have been romantically addicted, healthy love may feel really wrong and really uncomfortable at first.
Okay.
But don't be dismayed. Don't get discouraged. Stay curious. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, stay open-minded, because what you were doing wasn't working. And we want you to do things that will work. So again, all the tools, use them, take care of yourself, and this will go better for you.
Absolutely. Okay, and here we have a closing segment, some closing thoughts. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, always thank you to anybody who comes on here and jumps on even for a few minutes to listen to us. We're here to help you. We like to share our experience, strength, and hope. To anybody who is feeling at all wonky this year, we're so with you. Just take care of yourself and know you weren't addicted to love. You were addicted to relief. And now you're learning something really radical, that you can be the source. This actually isn't the end of romance at all for you. This is the beginning of real intimacy with others and with yourself. So take it out.
Absolutely. And remember, your journey to joyful living begins when love stops being an escape and becomes a home. All right, guys, follow Reach Out Recovery, the State of Grace. Fraga, share this episode with someone who needs permission to heal. And let us know in the comments what part of this live resonated with you, and would love to hear from you. And again, thank you so much for joining us. We love you and care about you and want to help you. That's why we do these Reach Out Recovery lives. All right. Have an amazing day, whatever it is in your country, if it's morning,